It started with a letter that had no return address. The envelope was old, yellowing around the edges like it had been handled 100 times. My name, David Reynolds, was written in shaky cursive, the kind that makes your stomach drop because it feels too personal. Inside was a single line. Your father lied. Come to 127 Ash Hollow Road, Brookmore, Pennsylvania. Ask about the cellar. My father died 8 years ago. He was a truck driver, barely home, and when he was home, he mostly drank and stared at the TV. I didn't know what secrets he could have had, but something about the letter felt wrong, like it knew I wouldn't ignore it. Brookmore was a dying mining town in western Pennsylvania, surrounded by woods thick enough to blot out the sky. I drove up on a gray October afternoon, the clouds hanging low and still, like they were waiting. The house was real, a sagging two-story farmhouse covered in ivy, tucked at the edge of the woods. I wouldn't call it abandoned. It looked more like it was hiding. I knocked. No answer. The door creaked open before I touched it again. Inside smelled of old wood, mildew, and something faintly sweet. There was furniture, but it was all covered in white sheets. Dust floated in the air like it had been trapped for years. "Hello?" I called out. No answer except a creak upstairs like a footstep. My heart thudded, but when I checked, there was nothing. Just a long hallway with peeling wallpaper and a cold draft that felt like someone breathing down my neck. I nearly left, but then I found it, down in the kitchen, behind a false wall in the pantry, a heavy wooden door set into the floor, padlocked. Carved into the wood were 3 words, jagged and uneven, like someone had scratched them in desperation. Do not open. I should have listened. That night, I stayed at the only motel in town. The clerk, an old man with watery eyes, went pale when I mentioned Ash Hollow Road. That place was condemned, he muttered. Back in the 80s, family just disappeared. House sat empty ever since. Locals say it's cursed. Anyone ever live there after? He just shook his head. I couldn't sleep. All night I had the feeling someone was watching me. The shadows in the corners shifted when I wasn't looking. At 3:12 a.m., the motel phone rang, static on the line. Then a voice. He didn't tell you the truth. I went back in the morning. The padlock on the cellar was broken. The door stood open, black and yawning. I don't know why I went down there. I don't remember walking. It was like I was pulled, like something had reached up and curled cold fingers around my spine. The cellar was huge, dirt floor, stone walls, and in the center a well, old and dry, surrounded by symbols burned into the floor. Around it, piles of bones, animal at first glance. But then I saw the skulls, human. I turned to run and saw her, a woman in a tattered black dress, half her face gone, revealing teeth set in a skeletal grin. She hovered just above the ground, her mouth moving with no sound. Then the whisper filled my ears. Your father fed us. You will too. I ran, but the house shifted around me. Doorways led to walls. Windows opened onto darkness. I could feel them behind me, dozens of them, watching, waiting. Somehow I got out. I drove straight home, heart pounding, convinced I was free. But the next morning, The letter was back on my kitchen table. Same handwriting, same message, and beneath it, a new line, freshly inked. The debt is yours now. I started researching my father's old roots. Turns out, Brookmore was one of his stops for years. Every month, the same time. No one knew why. A few days ago, I went through some of his old things in the attic. Hidden in a box of tools, I found photos, grainy Polaroids of people, bound, gagged, terrified, all taken in front of that cellar door. I haven't slept in 3 nights. Shadows move even when the lights are on. Voices call to me from the dark corners of my apartment. Last night, the TV flicked on by itself. Static. Then her face. I don't know how long I can resist, but I feel it now, deep inside me, like something cracked open when I went into that cellar, and it's spreading, feeding. If you're reading this, don't go looking for Brookmore. Don't open any letters without return addresses. And whatever you do, don't ask about the cellar.